Milan, the city of fashion, aperitivo, design, and contradictions, is both glamorous and gritty, beautiful and chaotic. For newcomers, it can feel like a dream or a nightmare, depending on the district you choose. This is not Paris or Zurich, where most of the city feels uniformly polished. In Milan, the wrong neighborhood can ruin your experience, while the right one can make you fall in love forever. So let's walk through Milan's neighborhoods tier by tier, from the ones you should avoid at all costs, to the places where money, prestige, and safety collide. Tier 1, the bottom. The places locals joke about and outsiders regret renting in. Quarto Oggiaro. If you ask any Milanese where not to live, this is usually the first answer. It's in the northwest, full of public housing blocks from the post-war years. The architecture is brutal, the streets worn down, and the reputation is unforgiving. Crime rates are higher, police presence stronger, and walking here after dark is an act of faith. Yes, it's cheap, and yes, some young families try to make it work, but if you're moving to Milan to enjoy life, Quarto Oggiaro is a tough sell. Corvetto, southeast Milan, and another district with a rough reputation. Traditionally working class, today it's home to a large migrant population. Around the metro stations you'll find drugs, theft, and a constant sense of unease. Rents are low, and you'll find plenty of cheap rooms, but this is not a place where you relax on the streets at night. Corvetto is for people who absolutely must save money and know how to keep their heads down. South San Siro, especially around Piazzale Selinunte. Forget the stadium glamour. This is the other San Siro, where endless blocks of social housing have bred decades of neglect. It's notorious for vandalism, drug issues, and a lack of maintenance. On game nights, you'll have to deal with crowds, noise, and chaos. For newcomers, this part of San Siro is a trap disguised as affordable living. Giambellino and Lorenteggio. The Southwest carries its own burden. These two neighborhoods are synonymous with petty crime, drug dealing, and a rough social environment. Walking through the large public housing blocks, you can feel the decay of the urban fabric. Yes, rent are among the lowest in Milan, but the trade-off is obvious: quality of life. Unless you have deep family roots here, Giambellino and Lorenteggio are not worth your time. Lambrate and Via Padova, the darker corners. Lamrate as a whole is rising, but near the train stations and down certain stretches of Via Padova, the mood shifts. Shuttered shops, sketchy bars, clusters of migrants who seem cut off from the rest of the city. Safety is questionable, especially late at night. If you land in the wrong street here, Milan can feel hostile fast. Tier 2, the middle of the pack. Functional, affordable, livable, but rarely glamorous. Bicocca, once an industrial wasteland, now filled with a modern university campus, new apartment blocks, and cultural spaces, is on the northern edge, so commuting is a reality, but rents are manageable and safety is acceptable. Bicocca is in transition, and you feel it. A good place for students or young professionals who don't mind living far from the postcard Milan. Bricotto, right next to Bicocca, it shares the same mix of old and new. Family housing, small shops, affordable supermarkets. A practical neighborhood, though hardly exciting. If you want Milan without the Milanese glamour, Precado is your spot. Greco, another northern zone, once forgotten, now slowly developing. It still feels a little raw, with patches of industrial scars and working-class streets. But the direction is positive. For now, Greco is a decent compromise for budget-minded families. Niguarda, a quieter northern district with more green than the average Milanese neighborhood. You'll find older families, parks, and a slower rhythm. The housing is cheaper, but infrastructure is basic. If you're after peace over prestige, Niguarda delivers. Affori, very similar to Niguarda. Suburban, leafy in parts, calm. Safe enough, but not exciting. It's not where you come to experience Milan's culture, but you can raise a family without constant worry. Lambrate, better side. Unlike the rough corners near Via Padova, the rest of Lamrate has become a hub for students and young people. Rents are reasonable, and the atmosphere is improving year by year. Not as polished as the central districts, but it has energy. Bruzzano, far north, almost suburban. quiet, affordable, but lacking urban buzz. If you want nothing but peace and don't mind a commute, it works. Comazina, right next to Brezzano, same story. Calm, affordable, not dangerous, but far from Milan's beating heart. Tier 3. The playgrounds of Milan's youth and creatives. Navigli. This is the district everybody talks about, and for good reason. The canals, the bars, the restaurants, the nightlife that stretches until morning. Navigli is buzzing, chaotic, romantic, and exhausting all at once. Living here means paying extra for the location and enduring sleepless weekends. But if you're young, working in tech or design, this is where Milan feels alive. Isola, once a rough working-class neighborhood, now a gentrified haven for hipsters and creatives. Old Milanese houses stand next to futuristic towers. Jazz clubs, art galleries, co-working spaces, boutiques. Isola feels vibrant, but also a little too curated, too expensive for what it used to be. Still, if you want a stylish Milanese experience without being right in the center, Isola is the place. Tortona, the design district, the epicenter of creativity during Milan Design Week. It's full of lofts, showrooms, creative agencies, and trendy apartments. Expensive, sometimes artificial, but undeniably cool. If you want to live in the middle of the Milanese creative industry, this is your address. Tier 4. Solid, safe, family-friendly Milan. Porta Romana. Elegant, green, quiet. This is the district for professionals, families, and anyone who wants comfort without chaos. The buildings are beautiful, the schools are strong, and the atmosphere is refined. Living here feels secure and cultured, but expect to pay accordingly. Porta Venezia, one of Milan's most beloved neighborhoods. Multicultural, stylish, inclusive. It's full of restaurants, boutiques, nightlife, but also parks and family life. Popular with expats and the LGBTQ community, Porta Venezia is a melting pot where you can feel safe and welcome. Città Studi, the academic heart of Milan. Universities, libraries, student housing, and calm residential streets. It's not glamorous, but it's practical, affordable compared to the elite areas, and filled with life. Families and international students fit in perfectly here. North Siro, a world apart from the south. Here you find villas, private houses, wide leafy avenues, and a sense of prestige. It's quiet, safe, and wealthy. If you hear someone say they live in San Siro, this is the part they're proud of. Brera, historic, glamorous, exclusive. Cobblestones, art galleries, restaurants, and architecture that feels frozen in beauty. Apartments are rare and expensive, but living in Brera is about prestige. It's not for everyone, but those who can afford it never complain. Tier 5. The elite. The crown jewels of Milan. Centro Storico. The historic core. The Duomo, the Galleria, the iconic Milan everyone knows. Living here is pure prestige, but also pure chaos. Tourists everywhere, streets crowded, prices astronomical. It's beautiful but exhausting. CityLife. The futuristic Milan. Towers, skyscrapers, luxury apartments, parks, and shopping centers. Sleek, clean, international, and very expensive. It can feel soulless to some, but for professionals and expats, it's a dream. Porta Nuova, another showcase of modern Milan. Skyscrapers, corporate headquarters, glass towers, and high-end residences. Living here is about status, not charm. It's dynamic, it's rich, and it's very expensive. Magenta, old money elegance, quiet streets, bourgeois buildings, and a refined atmosphere. It's residential prestige without the tourist chaos. A classic Milanese choice. Pagano, leafy, calm upper class. Families, professionals, strong schools, a secure environment. It doesn't scream for attention, but it delivers consistent comfort. Washington, a mix of tradition and prestige. Residential, green, filled with well-maintained apartments. Families love it. Professionals respect it. Safe, established, reliable. Sempione, known for Parco Sempione and its grand avenues. It's upscale, safe, and vibrant. Families, young professionals, expats, It's a highly desirable balance of green and urban life. De Angeli. Quiet, residential, elegant. It doesn't make headlines, but people who live here rarely leave. Well-connected, family-oriented, with strong schools and safe streets. So where should you live? If you're young and hungry for culture, Navigli, Isola, or Tortona will keep you entertained. If you're raising a family, Porta Romana, Città Studi, or Porta Venezia strike the right balance. If prestige and luxury are what you want, Brera, CityLife, or Magenta are your top picks. And if your wallet is thin, stick to Baikaka, Afori, or Lamrate. Just make sure you don't drift into the wrong streets of Tier 1. Milan is a city of style, but also of sharp contrasts. Choose the wrong neighborhood, and it will chew you up. Choose the right one, and Milan becomes one of the most intoxicating cities in Europe.